Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I've had one of those mornings where, like, it's going along just fine. I'm thinking, oh, I'm so ahead of the game, and still I end up like racing over here at the last minute. You know how that goes when you have like the best of intentions and still you end up behind the eight ball. It's one of those days. So, hello, how are you? It is Thursday morning at 9:30 Central Time. Therefore, it's time for Live at the Loom. How are you? Just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is Live at the Loom. We've been doing this for, I think over 2 years, 2.5 years now. It's been a while. It's been so much fun, and I love getting to chat with all of you. So pop in, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. If you're working on a little beverage while we're hanging out, let me know what you're drinking. I have my usual kind of green tea this morning. Yum. It is chilly here in Northwest Indiana, so hot beverage is definitely in order. Yes. Hello, Marcy and Mirani. And Maureen, hello, Maureen. And Sherry, hello. Hi, Colleen in Western Australia. Okay, so Colleen, what do we decide? Is it like 11 p.m. your time? What time is it there in Australia? I love that we have such some international friends. That makes me so immensely happy. Thank you so much for popping in to say hello. Hello, Tanya. Ooh, okay. So Tanya's out of Edmonton, Canada, and she said it's what'd you say, a minus 13 Fahrenheit. Okay, that's cold, my friend. That is yes. Marcy's watching from Missouri and working on some coffee. I love the smell of coffee. One day I'm gonna also enjoy the taste, but I'm not there yet. Yes, Colleen says it's 11:30 in Australia where she is. I would be in bed already, Colleen. You're a better woman than I am for sure. Oh, Marini out of Louisiana says it is 35 degrees there. Oh, that's chilly. I did you have to like find your one winter coat, Marini? That's cold, my friend. Hello, Cindy. Oh, and Mary, how are you? Hi, you guys. So nice to see all of you. So as you pop in, let me know how things are going, where you watch from, all that good stuff. So let's kick things off with a little Thanksgiving recap. If you celebrated, of course. Tell me how Thanksgiving went. Did you, hopefully, all the family and friends made out of it alive? No one was harmed in the making of Thanksgiving, because I know it can be kind of a stressful time. I realize this. So let me know how it went. How was the turkey? My favorite question to ask is always about the dressing. How was the dressing? We've discussed this, that my dad makes the best dressing anywhere, but let me know how it went. How were the desserts? Did you have pie? What do you have? Tell me all of the good things. Marini says she grew up in northern Michigan, so this is sweatshirt weather for me. Hearty Midwestern stock. I can appreciate that, Marini, for sure. Hello, Laura. Hi. Oh, hello, Catherine. Oh, she says it's 3:30 p.m. in Ireland. I love that. That is awesome. Welcome, my friend. I'm so glad that you're here. So we were just doing a little Thanksgiving recap. So I flew out to California to visit with my sister and her family for Thanksgiving, and it was lovely. Let me just tell you, she lives in south of Los Angeles, but she's very close to the water. So she's in one of those beautiful areas where every day is the same. It is 70 degrees and sun every day, which is wonderful vacation. I don't think I could live there. I mean, I'm sure I could. However, after being in the Midwest for so long and having 4 seasons, and I kind of like winter more and more these days, that would be tough. Yeah. Let's see. Marcy said Thanksgiving was awesome. Oh, good. I cooked everything. My mother made the pies. The guys cleaned the kitchen. Okay, that sounds fantastic. I love that. Oh, hi, Lynette. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. So yes, so our Thanksgiving was wonderful. It was just there was 5 of us, including my nephew and his girlfriend, and we settled on, of the group of us, there was only one that really loved pumpkin pie, so we ended up going with it was like a apple berry something pie, and then we wanted something else, and so I have an incredible recipe for molasses cookies. Okay, raise show of hands, who loves a good molasses or spice cookie. It's so good. I think it's a Duff Goldman recipe, and they are fantastic. So I made a huge batch of molasses cookies, and that became part of our dessert for Thanksgiving. Not traditional at all, but it was really good. And you can't argue with that. Come on, really good cookies. Those are always in season for sure. Mary says I have family in San Diego. Right. You know exactly. Hello, David Fox. How are you? Maureen raises her hand. Yes, love the cookies. Tanya too. Yeah, Sherry. Right? Yeah, I there's something about them. The first time I made them, I didn't understand the whole what you watch for, and so I kept thinking, but they're underdone. So I left them in, and they were hockey pucks. They were like chip your tooth hockey puck cookies. The first time I did that, I was like, oh, okay, now I understand. The key is to take them out when they look like they're underdone, and then they'll still stay chewy. Some things you just learn the hard way. You're trying to use your intuition, and then you have to learn something new. So anyways, so I'm glad to hear that your Thanksgiving holiday was lovely and that you guys had a good time with family and friends. Marini says she handed out jars of my apple pie jam to the family, and it was a hit. Marini, if you have one left, I would like one, please. Apple pie jam sounds amazing. At least the recipe. How's that? If you could give me a link to that sounds incredible. Apple pie jam? Yes, please. That sounds amazing. Yeah, that sounds delicious. Yes, please. So, okay. So, let's talk about what else is happening. How are your projects going? I love this. I'm broadcasting on both Facebook and YouTube now. And so I'd love to see everyone's like our little family is just kind of expanding, which is so much fun for Live at the Loom. And I'm so happy about that. So let me know how your project's going. What is on your Loom? Did you have a chance to work on it over the last couple weeks? What kind of progress have you made? How are things going? Let me know. Oh, Colleen said, yeah, Colleen said that 70 degrees Fahrenheit is 21 Celsius. I put on a jumper at 25. Colleen, we'll have you stay in the warm climate, my friend. That, yeah, it's chilly. This morning, the temperature outside was about 16 degrees Fahrenheit here. It was chilly. Now, the sun's out. It's beautiful. It's just really cold. Like, your teeth rattle kind of cold. So, Maureen says she has one table runner done, one to go. Woohoo! Maureen, remind me, who is the table runner for? Who's the, or is it just for you? It could totally be for you. I love that when you do projects just to kind of feed your soul. That's important, right? That's part of the whole why creativity is key, is it gives you time to just make all the rules. Just let it rip. Let's see. Marini says she's been working on a different sort of weaving bobbin lace. Ooh. Oh, fabulous, Marini. I've never tried bobbin lace. I have seen it. It looks so complicated, but that's incredible. Mr. Tom got a herringbone scarf on my loom just in time for colder weather. Perfect. I love that. Marcy, my loom is packed away to make room for Christmas tree. Okay, but I have so many works in progress, WIP, on knitting needles. Nice. I can understand that. Loom, space for a tree. Yep, I get it totally. This time of year, the tree is going to take precedence for sure. Maureen says a table runner's for her sister-in-law. Oh, I love that. Oh, she is a very lucky girl, Maureen. That is for sure. I haven't even seen the runner, and I know it's going to be stunning, and she is very lucky for sure. Hello, Stitchy Bird. Brand new weaver here. Scared to start measuring warp out. No worries, my friend. I got you covered. I have lots of little nuggets to help you out there. Don't you worry. What's your name, Stitchy Bird? So I can. So I like it when I can see your actual name on the thing. You don't have to change it, of course. But I was just curious. I would like to, or do you go by Bird? Yeah, you tell me. Okay. Hi, Tanya. I'm doing one knitting project, 2 cross stitches, and I have 3 of 4 warp chains done. Wow. Tanya's she's got this whole little circle of projects going, which is fabulous. Cindy. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Cindy. I love that. Welcome. You're in good company. I have to say that, Cindy was talking about how she's brand new weaver, and you're my people. I love the newbies. I'll be honest. Those are the ones that really kind of light me up, and I love to work with. So, and of course, some of my stuff can apply to if you've been weaving for a while. But The new ones, you guys are my people. I love that. I love the beginners, just to kind of help break down all the concepts. So yeah, what else? What other projects do you have in the works, my friend? Cindy is working on a hand-dyed warp, first of 2 shawls. Oh, lovely. How sweet. I think that's going to be wonderful. I have, I'll show you the project I'm working on the floor loom here, but on the table loom, it's the same project from before, which is, so I'll explain. So this Friday, tomorrow, I guess, how time flies. Tomorrow, I am participating in First Friday over in Michigan City, Indiana, which is just a little east of me. And it's with some friends of mine that I've worked with for many years now. Anyways, they have a First Friday event, and it's a holiday, so they're doing something special. So a couple months back, they had asked me if I would participate. And when I've worked with them in the past, I take my table loom and I do a weaving demonstration and then have some things that people can buy. But it's so much fun, and they're such good people. And basically, whatever they ask me, I'm like, yes, of course, I'll do that for you. So I was looking the other day, and my table loom still has a project from like months ago on it. I'm like, well, it's not exactly Christmas colors. So that's part of my goal today, is to figure out how I can modify it so it looks a little more cheery. It's really like fall colors. It has that, you've seen the pictures, I'm sure. It has the rust and the green and all the stuff in it. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can add some red and green, like some real cheery colors to bring it more holiday-ish. We'll see. I don't think people are really gonna care, but I would like, it's the holidays. You should have holiday colors. That is my little 2 cents there. Cindy says I was given 3 table looms and 1 floor loom. Wow! I'm so excited to start and have 2 cross-stitch projects also going on. Okay, Cindy, that's a lot of looms for you to go from not weaving to having 3 table looms and a floor loom. That's wow. That's very impressive. But I agree with Marcy. You've got this for sure. Yes. Oh, Marcy has a great idea. Add red and gold. Oh. Ooh, Marcy, I like that idea. That actually could work very nicely. Red and gold. I'm looking down because it's like sitting right at my feet is where the project is. I could totally see that. That would work beautifully for sure. Okay, well, if you think of other things about your projects to tell me, just pop them in the comments right there. Let's see. Lori says, waiting on supplies to be delivered so I can start playing with my new to me floor loom. Yay! Your videos have been so helpful as I work on learning the difference between my rigid heddle weaving. That is congratulations, Lori. That is awesome. Yay. Everyone congratulate Lori. That is incredible. New looms. Yes. I love that. And you were saying new to me floor loom. I almost always recommend that you find a used one. That's, of course, if you want a new one, absolutely. Godspeed. Go get something lovely that no one else owned before you. But for the most part, you can't kill them. As long as the wood isn't warped, you can replace the metal stuff. Find a previously owned loom for the most part. That's usually my suggestion when you're thinking you want to get a loom, is start with something that's already been owned, because that sucker just needs to be loved. That's all. So, okay, this week, did you see the interview with Ellen? It was so much fun. Okay, so let me know if you saw the interview with Ellen, and give me your thoughts. She's the coolest, I have to say. When I was thinking about doing an interview, a handwoven interview, I thought, well, I have to start with Ellen. Ellen is on Live at the Loom so often. I don't think she can make it this morning, but she's on so frequently. So she's kind of part of our little posse anyways. And I thought, well, this seems logical. Ellen's the one that I start with. So we had a blast filming this. And basically you could tell it's just like us sitting around like girlfriends, just chattering on about whatever came up. So let me know your impression. I've got some very good feedback. Here are my thoughts. First of all, let me know how it went. Yes, Tanya said she was happy to see it yesterday. Thank you very much. What? Marcy said tomorrow's her birthday. My wish is free looms for all. I love that. Happy birthday, Marcy. We'll have to sing to you. I love birthdays. That is awesome. Sherry says the interview with Ellen was very good. It was fun to hear how weavers get started, and great plug for the guilds. Yes. Do you know what? Thank you, Sherry. That's an interesting comment. Ellen is very much a pro Weavers Guild weaver. And I am too, for sure. And I think what's so interesting about guilds, first of all, there aren't a lot of them around. And let me know if you have a Weavers Guild near you. Which one's near you? But what I find is that they can be an incredible resource for so many things. A guild isn't always a great fit. I totally understand that because we're people, and depending on how things are going, I have heard stories where it just didn't quite, but they can be an amazing resource for sure. And with us here, I say Ellen and I, we're both in the Chicagoland area, and we are so fortunate to have multiple groups to work with here in the area. Let's see. Maureen said she loved the interview. Good, thank you, Maureen. I sent one of my friends to her website for a shawl. She could not say enough good things about her customer service. Okay, wow. You would be hard pressed to find someone who does wearables better than Ellen. I mean, it could be differently than Ellen for sure, but she does impeccable work. She's amazing. Okay, I've totally forgotten. Vanilla Sock Pig, remind me what your name is, dear, because I know we've talked before. I'm so sorry. I'm totally blanking at the moment, but I'm so glad you're here. Tanya says, her Weaver's Guild is not near as in where it's easy to get to. She said there's about 35 minutes from here. Yes, I can appreciate that. We have folks that drive about an hour to come to our guild meeting here. So Steph, oh, thank you, Steph. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so here is the other thing about a Handwoven interview. Do you have ideas for guests? Because I have I have some folks that I have in the queue already, but I am excited to hear who you would like to see on a Handwoven interview, because I think there's just so many weavers doing incredible things everywhere. And wouldn't that be cool to introduce everybody to them? So if you have names, if you have suggestions, if you want to be on it, just drop me a line so I can reach out and we'll work that out. Hello, Kurt Acton from Florida. Yes, that's my dad. Hello, in sunny Florida, where it's not 17 degrees there. I'm sure Dad let us know what the temperature is there in Florida today. Okay, I'm gonna take a big old swig because I've been talking a lot, and then we're gonna talk about some weaving. You talk amongst yourselves. All right, here we go. Ooh, it's just the right temperature. Don't you love it when your hot beverage is just like it was scalding when you made it, and now 10 minutes later it's perfect? Oh, happiness is. Okay, let's talk about projects, my friends. Let me see if I can tip you down without. My little stand has been kind of loosey-goosey here, so hopefully you don't go sliding off. Okay, here we go. So here's my project. I am working on a recycled material project. Now, what I like to do is I personally love to do custom projects. And one of the kind of formats that people like to use is if they have materials from loved ones, current or past, that then I can incorporate back into the fabric, and we can make something new that they can appreciate and use in the family. So this is a flannel shirt, a plaid flannel shirt. But let me tell you, it is the prettiest plaid I've ever seen. Do you see the colors? The colors are incredible. Here, let me show you. This is one of the little strips. Look at that plaid. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. And it gets lighter on the other side. Right there, you can see it gets lighter down there. I just cut the strip. The nice thing about plaids, though, is I have straight lines to follow, which is lovely. I cut the shirt in 2 strips, and that's what I'm working into the fabric to create something new that then will make other items for the family. Dad says it's 17 plus 50 more degrees. That's pretty sweet there. Yes. So now, I will be honest, I tend to cut them by hand. I know all the quilter friends are like, why don't you use a rotary cutter? I need to try that. That needs to be on the list somewhere. I need to try the rotary cutter. For now, I tend to cut them by hand because, especially if it's custom, I want to make sure that I'm really using every bit of what they've given me carefully. Because, in many cases, that person's no longer with them. So I want to kind of honor the materials and be very cautious about how I'm using them. So this is what I break it down into strips like this. And here is, let me see if I can tilt you just a little more so you can see the whole, maybe not. No, maybe not. Okay, here, I'll just back you up just a little bit. Hold, please. No one gets seasick. Okay. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see it now. Okay. So here is kind of how I put together a project that has recycled materials. First of all, as I was looking at the project, I have a shirt and a couple of ties to work with. So I chose colors in my warp yarns that were going to be nice and neutral. My goal is always to highlight the recycled material. Whatever we're working with, I want that to stand out, to be like the star of the show. So I always try to make sure that whatever colors I choose in the warp, that they're going to kind of be the backup singers and not the star. That's always my goal here. Now, what I like to do for a number of reasons is I like to, first of all, I always have a yarn behind whatever my repurposed strip is. I always have yarns behind it for structural reasons. And I'm also just paranoid enough that if someone decided they wanted to sit down and pick out the little strips of ties or shirts, that they could do that. No one's ever going to do that, I realize, but I don't sew them, the strips end to end to end. They're all just loose. So I just place them in here. So I always want to have some kind of yarn, some kind of additional weft yarn behind it, just to make sure it holds all together, gives it a little, makes it a little beefier, just kind of hold it together. That's what I'm trying to say here. So what I did with this one, you saw the colors of the shirt. Do you see? I've got I have multiple. I put multiples here together. So I've got a black. I have this really cool kind of flannelly gray, and then I have two dark blues, and I've got this one teal that is pretty much exactly the same color as the shirt. Which, how often does that happen? Hardly ever. So I was very tickled to find this kind of collection of yarns that work with that. And I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too, I don't want it to be too fat because that's not the goal, but I want to make sure that it has enough kind of oomph to it so that it's going to, like I said, I don't want the fabric to be too fine when I'm finished. I want it to have a little meat on its bones. So that was kind of how I ended up with this here. All right, let me see where I am in the project. I think I'm just kind of placing my little strips here. Now, you have so many options when you're working on this type of project. You absolutely could take a whole bunch of them. If you love the sewing machine, which it's well known that I don't, but if you love the sewing machine, you could absolutely sew your little guys together so that so it's just like one long one that you can then put onto a shuttle and go to town for sure. I don't tend to do that for a number of reasons. Partly because I don't sew or don't love the sewing, and I also like to space them. I don't always overlap them. There are times like this. I guess it is like this. There are times I leave a little space between the little strips as I put them in. But you could totally play with that if you ever decide that you want to try this kind of type of incorporating recycled material into your project. So let me know this. Have you worked with recycled material in your project? And if so, how did it go? What kind of things did you use? How was it? I realize it is not for everyone. However, I kind of love it. I just think there's so much that you can do as far as, anything's fair game, right? At this point, I've worked with, I love neckties just because of I think the patterns in there are so pretty. I've worked with neckties, shirts, button-down shirts. I've worked with t-shirts. The trick with t-shirts is that they're typically a solid color. And I find that solid colors can make the fabric can look very kind of rag rug-ish. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like my colors to kind of blend a little more. So if I'm doing a t-shirt, I try to pair it with something else that has a little more color to it, just to kind of keep it interesting. So yes, I've done t-shirts. I've done robes, like a velour robe, which was very fun, but very I was vacuuming for days because as you can imagine, because the little bits just kind of they just kind of fall off. I've done swim trunks. Yes. Let's see. I've done a jacket. I've used all kinds of different recycled bits in my work, which is just, I like the challenge. I like I like the challenge of taking the item and being like, okay, how much am I going to need for this? How does it all go together? Yeah, I like that. Laura says the backup yarn is a great idea. I've had rugs that disintegrated after a time. Yeah, right? We've all been there, huh? Uh-huh. Hello, Sue Ann. I have made one rag rug, used strips of old tights and t-shirts, made a kitchen rug. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, and a kitchen rug is brilliant when you have just stuff that you're like, I'm just gonna, toss it or recycle it. So why not incorporate it into a rug? That's awesome. Sherry uses a lot of jeans, t-shirts, sheets, blankets, you name it. I use it for rugs. Sherry, that's awesome. Sherry's like the ultimate. Nothing's going to go to waste. That makes me so happy. Marcy says she's recycled yarns. Always check thrift stores for cashmere steals. Ooh, yes. That is awesome. Steph says I volunteer at a local park and they taught me how to weave blue jean rugs. I was hooked ever since. That is fantastic. I love that. By the way, you'll notice I am using big old rug shuttle here. Is that for me, whenever I'm in a position where I'm combining more than one yarn together for my weft, I like this kind of shuttle instead of like a, what's the word? Boat shuttle. That's the word. Instead of a boat shuttle, because if you're going to wind this like around a bobbin, they're going to start to wind unevenly, which is just kind of annoying. That might just make you crazy. If you're anything like me, that might just make you crazy. So I tend to use either this one or I've got a big old ski shuttle that I use for this type of work. Anytime I'm doing multiple yarns in the weft, I like to use those kind of shuttles. So yeah, I'm just kind of mixing it up. Like some of them here, I'll show you one. Like some of the pieces are much lighter than others, but it gives this great, do you see how it looks like it kind of like, it's just like all mashed together, kind of waves of color, which is just I love this bit. Let's see. Oh, yep. You guys are just telling me how you're using recycled stuff. So, yeah, it's, I've always enjoyed it. I think it's just such a nice way to use weaving as a vehicle to incorporate whatever you want. I am talking to a friend of mine about doing a wall hanging, and we live close to the beach. I don't know if you know that, but we're 4 miles from Lake Michigan, so very close to the beach. And she's a real beach lover. So she talked about how she wanted some the colors to kind of reflect the beach. I thought, well, maybe we could even incorporate some little beach glass, something little. She mentioned a little driftwood, something. Which would be very cool and very fancy. All right, we'll tuck this one in and then we will finish it up because time is ticking. You know what I like? I'm using this program called StreamYard, and what's so nice is they tell me the time, which is lovely. Let's see. Laura asked, "What are you doing for the ends? For the ends of the strips, Laura?" I just tuck them right in. Is that what you're asking, my friend? Here, I'll tuck this up for you. By the way, I'll show a picture so you can kind of get in close. I can't swoop in and show you a close up, but I'll post a picture so you can see it because it's beautiful. It's looking really good. What do you do for the ends? Yes, for the ends. Oh, do you know what? Laura, honestly, I don't worry about it. What I'll do is when the fabric comes off the loom, I'll go through with a pair of scissors and cut real close. So if I have any like ends sticking up, I'll just trim them real close. But otherwise, I don't sweat it. I kind of let the chips fall where they may. Now, for this project, we're going to sew this fabric. This is not going to be like a table runner. We're actually going to cut pieces out and sew it into other things. So I don't have to worry about the ends at the side too much, that's helpful. Hello, Carrie. Are you using tabby in that sample? That's exactly right, my friend. I am using tabby. Whenever I use recycled stuff, I don't typically do any kind of a fancy pattern. I typically use a tabby. Like I said, I try to always kind of have the recycled materials. They're the ones that are kind of the star of the show. I want them to shine. So I do something really, really, really simple and clean just to make sure you can, when you look at it, you're like, oh, beautiful, fill in the blanks, shirt, necktie, whatever it is. Let's see. Okay. Have you ever woven on an inkle loom, in particular Baltic weaving? I'm very interested in doing some hat bands and bookmarks. I have worked on an inkle loom about twice in my life. That's yes. That's a good question, Colleen. Yeah, I've done a little bit with Loom, not a lot. I would never say I was an expert in it, but it was fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and I love the fact that Loom is so portable. You can just, yep, just take it with you. Just pop it in the car. Yes. Hello, Jennifer. You are never late, my friend. You just hop in whenever you can. Okay, so here we are winding down. All right. I wanted to make a mention since it is the end of the year. If you guys would like a calendar, they are for sale. By the way, I think as I'm talking about this, I realized that I owe someone a quote. So one of my friends who is in Spain, I owe her a shipping quote for this. Okay, I'll see. You know how that goes, right? You put things on your list and then you flip the page and you don't take it over. And I have homework, you guys. I have homework, but the calendars are for sale just in case if you would like some pretty little pictures. I never know how to do this. I never know how to show this to you without having it be like the most awkward. If you would like some pretty little pictures, some weaving pictures for the next year, just a little something to make you smile. Calendars for sale. They're ready. They are ready for you. Also, speaking of calendars, for the month of December, I'm going to be doing some giveaways with the Acting Creative Insiders. So stay tuned to watch for what that looks like. That'll probably be one of the gifts for sure. So if you haven't checked out the Acting Creative Insiders, it is a monthly membership where you get all kinds of little extras, little bonuses, inside look and into the business and what's happening here, plus extra weaving tips on a regular basis. So all kinds of good stuff. And then lastly, if you aren't if you haven't signed up for the emails, the love notes that come out every week, you're invited to do so. I send a little note on Wednesdays. It usually coordinates with a Handwoven experience. And I just say hi. And then I'm thinking about you and tell you little stories for what's happening here and give you access to all of the good free stuff that I'm putting out every single week. Woo, this has been so much fun. You guys, I always look forward to seeing you here at Live at the Loom and hearing how things are going in your corner of the world. So here is the plan. Let's see, next Thursday. Yeah, I'll be right back here. There's nothing in the way. We are free and clear, Live at the Loom next week, same time, same place. I will be right back here to see you then. So mark your calendars, work on your projects, throw a shuttle this week, would you? And I will see you next Thursday. Yeah, 9:30 Central Time. All right, my friends, have a wonderful, fabulous week. And of course, as I like to say, happy weaving.